Smile versus smirk. Smile. A friendly, happy facial expression. She smiled warmly at me. Smirk. A sly or sarcastic smile. He smirked when he won the argument. Wet versus damp. Wet. Completely covered with water or liquid. My clothes are wet from the rain. Damp. Slightly wet. The towel is damp but not soaking. Discover versus invent. Discover. To find something that already exists. Scientists discovered a new planet. Invent. To create something new. He invented the telephone. Hug versus cuddle. Hug. A brief, firm embrace. She gave her friend a quick hug before leaving. Cuddle. A longer, more intimate embrace. The mother cuddled her baby to keep him warm. Look versus stare. Look. To glance or focus briefly. Look at this beautiful picture. Stare. To look intently for a long time. He stared at the painting for hours. Listen versus eavesdrop. Listen. To actively pay attention to sound. I love listening to music. Eavesdrop. To secretly listen to someone's conversation. He eavesdropped on their conversation. Famous versus notorious. Famous. Known for positive reasons. She is a famous actress. Notorious. Known for negative reasons. He is notorious for his bad temper. Childish versus childlike. Childish. Immature or silly, negative. Stop acting so childish. Childlike. Having innocent qualities, positive. Her childlike curiosity is admirable. Mistake versus error. Mistake. A wrong action due to misunderstanding. I made a mistake on my test. Error. A more serious or technical mistake. There was an error in the computer program. Leave versus quit. Leave. To go away from a place. She left the office at 5 p.m. Quit. To stop permanently, a job or habit. He quit smoking last year. Job versus work. Job. A specific position of employment. She has a job at a bank. Work. General tasks or effort. I have a lot of work to do today. Sob versus weep. Sob. To cry noisily with deep breaths. She sobbed uncontrollably after hearing the news. Weep. To cry quietly, often with sadness. He wept silently at the funeral. Gulp versus sip. Gulp. To swallow a large amount quickly. He gulped down the water after running. Sip. To drink slowly in small amounts. She sipped her tea carefully. Home versus house. Home. A place where someone feels emotionally attached. My home is where my family is. House. A physical building where people living. They bought a new house last month. Rise versus raise. Rise. To go up on its own. The sun rises every morning. Raise. To lift something. He raised his hand. Alone versus lonely. Alone. Without other people, neutral. I live alone, and I enjoy it. Lonely. Feeling sad about being alone. She feels lonely in a new city. Damage versus destroy. Damage. To harm but not completely ruin. The storm damaged the roof. Destroy. To completely ruin something. The fire destroyed the house. To live versus reside. To live. General word for having a home somewhere. I live in New York. Reside. More formal, used for official situations. The ambassador resides in the capital. Story versus history. Story. A fictional or real narrative. She told me an interesting story. History. The study of past events. I love reading about world history.